Is the title race over for Arsenal and Man City? Are Chelsea the second best team in the Premier League right now? At least it looks like it. With that comeback win versus Tottenham, you got to give them a lot of credit. Cole Palmer, people saying he doesn't show up in big games. Was today not a big game? Did he not put in a good performance? I don't know what to say to you guys. The Merseyside derby was cancelled. I was hopeful that Everton would take points off of Liverpool. Little did I know Arsenal would slip up to Fulham. Little did I know Man City would slip up to Crystal Palace. Although, with the history of those two clubs facing those two teams, I should have known. I should have known better than my team would just go on this magical run and catch up and win the league. Like, what fairy tale world am I living in? Reality is starting to hit in. And I'm starting to be extremely scared of where my team will be come the end of the season. I know it's December. It's not the end of the season. Calm down, Egal said. Somebody said to me today, and I want you guys to take this in. We won on field tilt. We had 86% field tilt. What does that even mean? We conceded due to 0.03 XG. I'm sorry. I'm very, very scared. I'm worried. And I'm not worried about Liverpool. I'm not worried about Chelsea. I'm not worried about Man City. I'm worried about my own team not living up to the expectations that I hold them to. And that is extremely, extremely painful, hard truths that I somewhat need to come down to. People saying, calm down. People saying it's just the start of the season. We had tough fixtures. I even said that. I bought into the narrative. But wallahi, right now it hurts. But yeah, let's talk about Chelsea. Let's talk about everybody else. And the show will be going for at least an hour. We're going to have some regulars popping in, popping out. But before we go any further, I got Ahmed in the building. Ahmed, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling off the back of that big win?
Speechless, wallahi, man. I'm speechless, man. You know, I'm not usually a guy that, you know, doesn't have many words to say. But today, man, I got my cloud's back, man. My cloud's back, man. That's what I have to say, man. My cloud's back. You know, what I saw today, man, sensational, man. Sensational. No other words to put it, man. No other words to put it other than sensational, because I don't know what to say, bro. You see, speechless. Wallahi, I don't even know what to say, man.
Before we get into Arsenal, before we add everybody else, since you're the Chelsea rep, and just talk to me, bro. Just talk to me about.
Let me get my prop, man. I got a prop.
Talk to me about Chelsea. Talk to me how you feeling. Talk to me about Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernández. Just go in. Are Chelsea the second best team in the league?
Listen, man. You know, I remember beginning of the season. Yeah, we were cooking this guy, Jadon Sancho. I remember this signing, the way people were laughing at this signing. Jadon Sancho. What will this guy give up to the team? What is he worth? What is he gonna do? For me, today we saw the best performance, I think, of Sancho in a Chelsea season. Honestly, bro. And you know, him starting the comeback, brilliant goal, the way he was creating, beating his man 1v1, chance creation was in the game. Everything about him, bro, was just today scintillating, man. Sensational, bro. Like, the amount of work that was getting on that wing, bro, was like second to none in the first half and in the second half. And you know, for me, one thing I always say, to find out, you find out your team when they're losing. Today, Salah had those two goals, courtesy of Kukureya's cleats, you know, which were not great, of course, at the end of the day. But we showed, we have the hustle. We have the mentality to come back here in these big games to produce what is needed to be produced, you know. And honestly speaking, man, you got to give us credit, man. You got to give the team credit. You got to give the lads credit. They came in, they took charge of the team. Honestly, for me, again, Enzo Fernández, bro, I don't know what's happened, man. I don't know what happened to this guy. But since last month, bro, since basically November, this guy's been on a different planet, bro. You know, he's scoring, he's assisting, he's doing the stuff, bro. Yeah, that I expected it, that we were asking from 2 seasons ago, bro. He's doing it all. Honestly speaking, man. Caicedo, best midfielder in the world, man. Not world, sorry, in the league, sorry. I want to say in the world, but in the league, guaranteed.
You don't even know what to say.
You know what I mean? Honestly speaking, man, best midfielder in the league, no doubt about that in my mind. And for me personally, this win is a big win, man. You know, you go second place, 2 points ahead of Arsenal, 4 points now ahead of Man City. Great win, great performance. I'm just happy, bro. I'm just happy, man. I'm so happy with the team. I'm so happy with the mentality. And, you know, onward and upwards, man. Onwards and upwards, as they say, man. Onwards and upwards, bro.
Okay, first things first. Are Chelsea in the title race?
I mean, currently, yes, we are. We have to. I can't. I won't say that. I think what I will say to you, God, I think I put it best yesterday on my channel. Yes, we are in a title race, but I don't think we're going to be able to finish the story. That's the way I put it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense, Egal?
Okay, so you're in the title race, but you don't have confidence your team can get over the line.
Exactly, Mundo. I think that's best because I think for me, remember, you've had me before. I think there's just like 1 or 2 pieces that need to be improved upon. And you saw it this game, for example, like the goalkeeper. I think is a good example of that. And then maybe another centre back. That's what I look at, and I'm like, that's why there needs to. That's why the improvement needs to happen before we can talk.
Fair enough. And before I'm just going to add Vader in the building right now. Big up Vader. Big up everyone in the comment section. Do me a favor. Please do hit that like button right now. We got 92 people in the video. We also have another 190 people on Twitter. We're just talking about Chelsea. Vader, hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about your team in a bit. Did you know what? Chelsea has a lot of people a lot of people got criticized at Chelsea harshly and some deservedly. But some people that I want to shout out that I think deserve a little bit more respect than normal. Enzo Fernández. I'm going to give Enzo his credit. My man that guy, he's not my man, but he's been stepping up. I'll give you that. He's one guy that I have been criticizing and I've been very critical of, and he has stepped up big time. Enzo, I need to see a little bit more, but at this moment in time, he's on a revenge tour to everyone who criticized him. And World Cup tax, he might be slowly living up to it as this season 10 GA, and in the last 4 games, if I'm not mistaken, he's had really good performances in all of them. So I got to give him Enzo.
He scored in his last 3 games, by the way. He scored in all of his last 3 games.
I got to give him credit.
Goal and assist in all of his last 3 games.
I got to give him a lot of credit. Enzo Fernández. Another person that I'm gonna look at is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, people said 1 season. People said he doesn't step up in big games. People said he's just scoring penalties. He has scored every single penalty he's been given at Chelsea Football Club. That's 11 for 11. That is tied for the Premier League record for most penalties scored in a Premier League career without missing. He's currently equaled Yaya Touré's record.
He beat him.
Did he beat him or did he?
Yeah, because of the second. So the first one was the tie. The second penalty was surpassing. So big up to Yaya Touré, man. African legend, man, always.
Give it up to Cole Palmer. And to the people who say, oh, he scored 2 penalties. Did you see the performance? Cole Palmer is easily top 3 best players in the league right now. No debate. I don't think there's a debate. You can call it reactionary. You can call it whatever you want. But really and truly, he is up there with the Erling Haalands, the Sakas, the Mo Salahs. He's in that category. And if you don't put him in that category, I don't know what to say to you. I just don't know what to say to you. Chelsea's a problem. They're going to be here in the foreseeable future. And maybe they will fall off. Maybe they won't get over the line. But at this moment in time, they are building a team, and you're finally starting to see the fruits of all the labors for the last couple of years. And you got to give them credit. Maybe Tottenham are just that shit that they make everyone look really good and they're able to come back against them. It is very Spursy. We're going to talk about Spurs in a bit when Jay gets here. But as for Chelsea, I got to give them their props. No, I can't hate on it. What are you saying? What are you saying, Vader? And welcome, Rack.
Well, first, let me know, is my audio good? Is it not choppy?
Your audio is the best we've ever heard it.
All right. You know what? Chelsea salvaged that win, but it's Spurs. And I know it's funny from a City fan saying it's Spurs because of how bogey they are against me.
This team beat you 4-0. Don't forget that.
No, exactly. Some of us have bogey teams, right? Teams that kind of mess us up. It's Spurs, though. So I'm not. I hear you. I hear you with regards to what Chelsea were able to do, the comeback that they made, the performances of these players. Categorizing it as a big game now, I get it. The London turf wars that you guys tend to have, but it's Spurs. So
But can I ask you a question, Vega? Would you not? Because I think for me, I understand where you're coming from, and I would usually agree with it. I just think for me, from a club standpoint, it's just a top 6 club in it. They're technically a top 6 club. You know what I mean? I know they don't win, but they're a top 6 club. Does that make sense?
I've been saying normally I would agree with it, but Chelsea are playing them, so actually for this particular game,
And to be honest,
disagree.
it's also like a bit of a venomous derby, and it's a bit of a venomous one, and you know what I mean? Like, we hate each other. They were throwing shit at our players, basically. They were throwing all this stuff on our players. I don't know why the referee didn't stop the game temporarily and get some of these guys kicked out of the stadium. They were throwing stuff at the corner flags, by the way, because like I don't know what was going on there. But listen, at the end of the day, it was Tottenham, and we put belt to us. And I'll be real, yeah. If we did not give, if Kukurea had actual cleats on, you know what I mean, and actually had proper shoes on, we would be probably 3-0 up, not 2-0, not 2-0 down in the first 10 minutes. So that's what I would say.
Do you know what? Yeah. I can't lie. Yeah. Props need to be given to Chelsea because I don't care what the score was. Yeah, these men were battering Tottenham from minute 1 all the way to the end of the game. Yo, in that first half, yeah, Lavia was special. Lavia was
my guy, man. My number 6.
He like Chelsea, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, just word of warning to anybody in the Premier League: never expect anything from Tottenham. Never, wherever they are, whether they're away at home, it don't matter. These men are dead. They're actually, do you know what? Yeah, if my club was winning 2-0 in the first 10 minutes and I go on to lose the game 4-3, my head's in a different universe. Like, absolutely different universe. Like, I would be so. Surely he gets sacked. This is all I was thinking the whole way through the watch along I was doing. Surely he gets sacked. No, surely. Like, at what point?
They've turned on him.
He's gone. You know what? Yeah, I think maybe he survives until Rangers, and then when he loses to Rangers, because he's a former Celtic manager, that's it, man. That's the knife.
I imagine that would actually be funny.
You know, bro, they're going to Rangers. They're going up to Scotland to face them. So, you know, the stadium's going to be against them. The players are going to be against
All I
them.
have to say is, I predicted he'd be sacked before New Year's, so I hope he gets sacked before New Year's. I said that was my bold prediction at the beginning of the season.
Do you not see Thingy, by the way? They kept on showing Levy every time that we scored in the stands.
Do you guys really think he's a poor manager? Like, he's a bad manager?
No, I don't think
he's not a bad manager, but it doesn't match what Tottenham wants and what he is. It doesn't match. I think he actually is a little bit more ambitious, and I think he's willing to get to the right stage. But Tottenham just want quick fix. They don't actually have time for anything but quick fixes.
Exactly.
He's a bad manager, man. I'm sorry. Zero adaptability. He has not coached any of these men on defensive scenarios. He hasn't coached any of these men on set-piece scenarios. He absolutely refuses to drop his high line by even a millimeter.
Oh, my
Where's he gone?
God. No, we got other news. Rack. Major news for Liverpool. Liverpool opening contract offer for Mo Salah. Does not agree. Is not closed. Nothing's done. But Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent all now received proposals, and talks with Liverpool ongoing. Interesting.
How would he make the opening contract offer on the 8th of December, though?
Is that no news of news? What is this?
Yeah. It's not really news, is it? Like,
up until now, none of them have been offered a contract, so this is official.
No, but like the fact that they all received contract and they've not signed, and it's only December. But I mean, bar and Salah, I'll excuse Kenneth from that. But like Van Dijk and Trent have the offers.
So you guys are basically saying this is a whole lot of nothing.
I think Van Dijk and Trent. With Van Dijk and Trent, yeah, but I think Salah no, because it's got his first offer.
We all know that the club wasn't going to let them walk away without like making offer or having discussions, right? So all this is formally advising us that discussions are taking place, which I thought it was something when you said, "Oh my God, Egal," I was thought, "Oh, Salah signed," and then
Yeah.
and then you show me this, and I'm like, meh.
Hey, listen, sometimes I gotta sell it. Anyways, Liverpool make a contract offer, fresh offer. David Ornstein says it. It's just an afterthought. Let's be honest. There's not much to be said about Liverpool this weekend. You guys had a good weekend, though. You didn't even kick a ball, and you had a good weekend. You got contract offers to Mo Salah. You got Man City and Arsenal dropping points. Chelsea seem to be your only challenger right now. Interesting times at Liverpool, but we're going to talk about it in a second. Anything else that you want to say, Rack, on Chelsea before we move on? We'll talk about Tottenham in a bit when Jay gets here.
I have something to say.
Chelsea, it's been pretty admirable, to be fair. Like, I think after the first game when Chelsea lost against City, people thought, "Oh well, same old Chelsea's," and they had a couple of other questionable results in and around that time. I think they drew a few games at home. And they're like, "Oh well, Chelsea, this is like a continuation of last season, more or less." Although the second half of the season was better, people presumed, I think, with some justification, that there wasn't going to be a massive improvement. You saw Enzo getting dropped and performances improving, so you wondered where his future lie. But slowly but surely they're turning it around and they're making doubters into believers. A great man once said, "Make doubters into believers." I'll let you guess who that was. Don't look at Vader shaking his head. It was the great man Jurgen Klopp. Anyway, and Ahmed is happy. Look at him sitting there with a smug grin on his face. And none of us, all we can do is congratulate him and say, well done so far.
Fair enough. Big up to the super chat here. Tom Goldsworthy, if I pronounce his name right, said Spurs are mid. Stop deflection. What? Stop deflections with no corners. What? Stop deflections. Am I reading that correctly, or did I read it wrong?
No, you read that correct.
No corners. You read it correct.
All right. I think he meant stop deflecting with corners or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I think you meant to make it a dig, but you didn't land it. You didn't land it. Big up, Tom.
Tom is actually wrong. Spurs aren't mid. Spurs are dead.
We're gonna talk about Spurs when Spurs get here. Spurs fan gets here. But Rack, quickly, Liverpool come out of this weekend winners. The Merseyside derby got cancelled. I think if you guys played in a windy, bad weather, it would negatively affect both teams, obviously, and transportation and everybody. So it's a good thing that they canceled it. But you are kind of lucky because you have no Konate. You don't have a bunch of players missing. You also wouldn't have had McAllister. And Everton are a little bit better form as they just won their previous game, and you guys just dropped points in your previous game. So I felt like this was a good opportunity for Everton to play you and to get something from it. But hey, the game's postponed. Advantage Liverpool? What are you saying?
Well, I mean, we don't know, right? You hoped it would be a bad result for us, or we may drop points. But I guess we won't know. We'll never know. We will replay the game probably at some point early next year,
February.
And at that point, maybe Konate will be back, maybe McAllister will be available, but maybe other players will be out. So we just don't know, and it's not like the game is not going to be played. It will be played again at some point in the future. Possibly with a slightly different team, possibly with other important fixtures around it that may be even more important. We're getting that point would be close to the business end of the season. So who knows? I don't want to speculate on what's going to happen until we're close to the time because there's so many variables. But Arsenal dropping points is obviously a good thing for us. City dropping points is obviously a good thing for us. And Ahmed is still there. Ahmed has closed the gap. So
all points with the game in hand. You know what I will say. You know what I will say. Yeah. You know what I will say. We're how many points? So that brings it back to 9, right?
You're 4 points off. You're 4 points off.
No, not myself. I'm saying Arsenal will be 9 points behind you. Obviously, if you win,
if we win our game in hand, correct?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
It would be 10. It would be 10. No.
No. Remember, they dropped 2 points against Newcastle. Then
we
they
dropped
gained
2 points. You dropped 2 points. It's back to 9. We'll be back to 9.
Yeah.
But back to 9. But obviously 2 further games off the potential number of games that you can gain points in. So
fair enough. Okay, guys, let's get into Man City. Manchester City drop points. honestly, we can lump Arsenal and Man City in together if you want. Man City and Arsenal both slip up. Both slip up. Both slip up to bogey teams. Fulham took 4 points off us last year. Crystal Palace took 3 points off you last year, if I'm not wrong, Vader, right?
Yeah, we weren't able to get both wins last season. Crystal Palace made it tough, even when Patrick Vieira was a manager over there. I remember a game with Gallagher just being a freaking monster and costing us some points.
Yeah, man. Big up the league, yeah, man.
We still won the league despite that, but yeah, they gave us some problems. I think based off of my form, I'm actually pretty calm with the draw. I think maybe Arsenal fans might be more upset with your performance. But what did you say?
I said you're deflecting, bro. How can you say it's a draw?
No, but my form's been horrible. I got a win out of 8 games just the other day. It's not like I'm expecting wins here. We got the draw. It was disappointing, of course, but when we talk about both teams and the form that we're in, I think it would be more disappointing for the form that you've been in than myself. Now, what Pep had to do with regards to his choice, his rotation, I think some of it was him keeping an eye on the UCL, because we're unfortunately in a position where we need to win every game now, and our next game is against Juventus. Obviously, we saw fantastic performances from Jeremy Doku, Jack Grealish, KDB, and Pep actually subbed Jack and Doku. So I think it was with his vision of the UCL having those players available. Drop points, disappointing. Am I considering the title chase right now? I'm actually falling back. I'm leaning on my blue brother. I'm expecting him to step up now that it's my off season. It's my off year. I've been doing it for 4 years straight, 6 out of 7. I need Chelsea to actually step up and prevent one of these red cartels from winning the league. Whether he chooses to step up or not, we'll wait and see. He's probably going to do this whole thing first-year manager nonsense. But we move. We got UCL coming up. It's a must-win. It's a must-win. And until I'm 8, maybe 7 points within reach, I'm not talking about a title yet.
Fair enough. Bro. Hooks. My bad, bro. I said I came at you on one of the shows and I said, yo, have some faith. You're losing confidence in the team. You don't have belief in the team. And you're like, bro, I'm being realistic, bro. I'm being realistic. You're not being realistic. You think we're going to go win all our games. You think you're going to go win on our games. You think you're going to go beat all the teams. I said, bro, we're in London. We're home. We don't lose London derbies. Bro, Fulham ain't easy, you said. We're going to beat Manchester
Bridge, man.
You said we're going to beat we're going to beat Manchester United because they're Manchester United. But the rest of the games, I'm not confident. And I said to you, come on, how can you say we're going to beat Manchester United but then lose to Fulham or drop points to Fulham? What are you talking about? Verbatim, we had this conversation. I felt like it was a couple days ago. Maybe it was a month ago. But regardless, you predicted it right. I was calling you out saying you don't believe in the team, but bro, maybe you know the team better than I do. That's why I brought you on today, to be like, yo, my bad. Because I was literally getting at you the whole show, and it's like everything you said came to fruition.
I tell man, I'm the greatest gooner in the history of time, blood. Man, I've been
gone too far.
I am the greatest that ever did done. I am the Muhammad Ali of Arsenal fans, bro. I am the greatest that ever did live. You get me? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, all them things there. You get it? And it's just, I don't know, man. We just failed to deliver. Again, like, it's just another one of those scenarios that we've seen over the years where, you know, the pressure's on and we crumble. But hey, we'll probably play Everton and there's no pressure and we'll punch them up because that's just what we do, right? You know, when there's no pressure, we look like prime Barcelona. When there's pressure, we look like Stoke. Do you know what I mean? It just is what it is, man. Like, it was just a poor performance, you know, too slow. Players taking too many touches when not needed. No real kind of clinicality up front. No one really trying to score from open play. I can't even say barring Saka's in that game. Saka was more trying to, do that thing where, he beats his man, then he cuts in and crosses, or runs to the byline and he crosses, but he's crossing and no one's in there because we don't have a striker that is a striker. So, like, there's bare times that Saka got put the ball in the box and we could have scored, but there was just nobody there. Like, and then I don't know. It comes to like us actually needing a goal, and we bring on the likes of Martinelli, who doesn't do anything, and we bring on the likes of Jesus, who doesn't do anything, and it just leaves me here thinking, when the first team isn't first teaming, what do we do? Like, January is gonna be massive for Arsenal, because if we don't make big changes in that January window, we're like, I'm not saying by no stretch of the imagination am I saying that we're out of it. I'm not saying that. But and the only reason why I'm not saying that is because Liverpool didn't play. But if Liverpool played and they beat Everton, then I would be saying that we're out of it, because that would have then been double digit. Not double digit. Well, yeah, no, it wouldn't have been double digit, but it would have.
Still 9. It would have been 9 points.
Yeah,
9 points. But we would have been in a scenario where any other drop points and Liverpool win a game, it's now double digits, and there ain't no way on this God's green earth are we catching up double digits. It doesn't even matter who's top of the table. It could be anybody. It could be Brighton top of the table. Like, we're just not catching double digits. Double digits is way too much of a points gap.
Can we? Hey, listen, Hooks, man. I like this story. I mean, we love it. I think we all love it here. Let's just keep it real, bro. You know what I mean? What's going on with your attack, big man?
What's going on? I don't know. I don't.
Like,
and
that's the real question we need to ask, because listen, you're not gonna catch me. Like, you won't be. Listen, I'm not gonna be one of these idiot fans that's be like, "Oh, you're Stoke FC because you're only scoring from corners." I'm not gonna do that, because listen, a goal is a goal. If you score from set pieces and you get those goals, listen, that is a bonus. I always say, man, getting goals from corners and set pieces is always a positive, because that allows you to get another way to just score a goal. So you won't hear me deny that nonsense. But when it's just general attacking play, when I'm asking my winger to do something for me, my striker to do something for me, it's not happening, bro. It's not clicking. Why is that?
The manager. It can only be the manager. Well, okay, a combination of things.
Let me go first on this. Please, I agree with you on the manager, but also, why is it every time we have one injury or two injuries in the team, we're incapable of making the right decisions as a squad? It's not the individual players. We had a good game. We honestly, overall game, we had a good game. The reason why the finish was not good, cohesion. I think taking Timber and making him left back and taking him out of the right back position where he was so good offensively and defensively caused a little bit of disruption in that right hand side. Also, taking Partey, taking him from midfield, putting him at right back, it kind of messes up the midfield. You messed up two areas of the key areas of the pitch because of one injury. You didn't need to do that. All you need to do is put Kieran Tierney in there, or put Miles Lewis-Skelly in the left back position, and keep everything else the same. If you constantly make too many changes amongst your 11, it can negatively impact the flow of the game, how you build up, the cohesion that you have in the area of the pitch. Let's be honest. Tomorrow,
why did he do that?
Why did he do that?
He did that because he didn't trust him, right?
That's partially why,
and that's the manager's decision.
That is a manager's decision, but I think he needs to realize there's a trend. Every time Thomas Partey, let me finish. Every time Thomas Partey plays at right back, we drop points. But yeah, what are you gonna say? You gotta go.
But no, I wasn't gonna say go, but I was actually gonna I think my issue with that take, if I may say so myself, is two parts. Like, the manager's been here for quite a while now, bro. Like, he should know what works and doesn't work. Do you get what I'm saying to you? At some point, you need to know your players. That's one thing. I always say, like, the manager. One thing I praise Maresca on, for example, when he sees that a mistake has been made, he retroactively changes it. Why has he not decided, okay, this is not working, let me change it up quickly, right? Because he didn't do that either, right? And then my other thing for me also is that, with Arteta, we can't keep making the same mistakes, right? And this is another mistake that he keeps on making consistently, Egal. Like, for me, if this was like a first year Arteta or even a second year Arteta, I think there's some level of levity that can be given to him because he's a new manager, it's his first time doing stuff. But like, you can't be doing this in year 5, brother. When you're trying to like win a league, and this is like go, yeah, you can't do that, bro. You just can't do that. That's just my point.
I agree.
You're
Go
right.
ahead, host.
You're right. Like, and look, I said something a few weeks ago that a lot of people were cooking me for, you know, which was I don't actually know if Erdegaard just coming back into the team makes the impact that all the Arsenal fans think that it's going to make in regards to the title race. And I got cooked for this, especially after how good you saw Arsenal in those few games afterwards. But then, hey, look, against Manchester United, what did he do? Not much. But it was kind of looked over because we won the game 2-0. What did he do today? Nothing. Nothing.
Odegaard had his worst game I have seen him have in years. I don't remember him playing that bad.
No, I don't know about that.
But the point. That's not the point, right? The point isn't that Odegaard had a good game or a bad game. But you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. And now Odegaard's come back. So everything's fine again because if there were probably underlying issues other than Odegaard, right?
Wait. Why can't you put all your eggs in one basket?
Yo, Jay, you're not home.
Because most of the time, there's not just one single reason why things aren't going to plan. Usually, sometimes that could be the main reason, but maybe there are other reasons. Well,
I hear you. We're gonna talk about Arsenal in a second. Jay, you're not in your regular setup. What's going on?
I'm not in my regular setup because I'm pondering life. So you know, there's when you ponder life, it's best to.
Jay, don't do it. Jay, we love you, man. Don't do it.
Absolutely.
Do we need to send a welfare check? Like, are you okay, bro?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a 2-goal lead to our rivals. Both our centre backs might be injured again. You know,
that is such a good point. Oi, Jay, you know what? Yeah, I forgot to say this to you, girl. He sacrificed his best 2 centre backs for this game. Like, he actually sacrificed Romero and Van de Ven to win this game because he knew it was on the line today. He knew it was on the line.
You guys want to put the Arsenal talk on pause and come back to it in a second because Jay's joined. We got to speak about Spurs quickly.
Yeah. Let's speak to Jay. Let's make sure Jay's okay.
Come on, Jay. We need to hear what's in your heart, bro.
First of all, Jay, Ange out, Ange in, and shake it all about.
I think, okay, so the thing is, right, like, I'm not Ange out yet, but the problem is that there's stuff that it's like the team itself from last season, you know, a lot of teams have evolved, grown, developed. We haven't really developed that much as a side. And we play a lot like Chelsea last season. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities to me with Spurs.
Ooh, Jay, remember when I told you that last year? I told you that 2 weeks ago, and you were saying,
okay, listen. No. What the reason why there's similarities more for me now is not just about the play. I don't think the play is that similar. There's similars, but more about the pressing, the injuries, there's little things like that in terms of, you know, if you look at it like you've got 2 centre backs, right, who play on the halfway line. Yeah, you've got these players who are constantly pressing, constantly. You can burn your players out, you know. And I think while the squad's not good enough at the moment, you can also look at, you know, the players are being burnt out. But then, so maybe like pragmatism. You're 2-0 up against Chelsea. There's going to be different game states. Can you manage the game properly? Can you make sure that you don't concede in the next 10 minutes, you know? But then also our players are bozos. Like, as in, like, Bazuma today, that's just outrageous. You know what I mean? That's just an outrageous thing to do at 2-1. But I also, on the other side, think, you know, sometimes you think, okay, well, are the players overworked mentally and physically and they're making stupid mistakes because of that? Some of the, like, Bazuma to me is just not, he's just not got IQ. He's not he's not got the IQ necessary for that level. You watch Bizuma and Lavia today, and skill set wise, they're probably broadly quite similar, technically, but Lavia's thinking and understanding and nuance is a lot better. He's a lot more technically secure, but I don't even think Lavia is that good defensively. Do you know what I mean? I don't think out of possession he's insane or anything, but it's just, if you look at the Sancho goal, Bizuma should be closing down Sancho. Yeah, you look at his foul. You look at, in terms of the game, Spurs had a lot of chances. The problem is that Chelsea were quite open today. Like we were kind of playing on the counter. Like Chelsea had a little bit more of the ball, but no excuses. I think, we've lost. How many games have we lost now? 7? So 7 games, is it? 8 maybe?
7 games? What?
I think we lost 7 games already this season.
No way.
Definitely,
Yes.
it's definitely 7 at least. It could be 8. I'm not sure. I think it's 7.
How many wins do you have?
I think we got more defeats than wins. I think.
Let me see right now. Actually, I can check you right
And
now.
you're still Ange.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got 7 losses, 6 wins, 2 draws.
Yeah. I think the thing with something like that is that obviously, like today, you could look at it and say, okay, if you don't give away the penalties, arguably, do you win the game? Things like that. And sometimes you look at the game and you think, okay, is that just down to the tactics and stuff? My problem is that in my head, like a few months ago, I started thinking like, oh, Ange reminds you a bit like Bielsa, and I've not been able to shake it since then. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and the way kind of Leeds fell off and things like that. It's just a very difficult time. I think the board have a lot to answer for now, because I think sometimes you can separate the project and the manager sometimes, and I think sometimes with Spurs, people don't do that. So just like, the board's this. It comes like Chelsea, they had their project and they said, okay, we've had Potter, we've had Poch, okay, Enzo. So you can have a vision of what you're trying to do. And I do think Ange is to an extent getting a little exposed, by some very good managers. Some very good managers are going head to head with him. And, you're getting outworked by McKenna, you're getting outworked by Areola, Maresca made changes in the second half. But I think that has to be looked at. It's not just about the players and the squad. It can also be about tactically how we try to do this, how we setting up. So I don't think he has a huge amount of rope at the moment. I think we've played 4 London derbies, Chelsea, Arsenal. I think we've lost every one since Ange took over. These are quite damning, but I've still got a little bit more rope. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I
I think
don't think I've ever seen Jay so sad before in my life.
All-time low, man.
Yeah, Jay's hurt. But Jay, listen, this same manager, you're talking about the London Turf Wars and him not able to win versus any London teams. He still has 2 wins versus City, right? 4-peat winners. So I think there's something to
this 4-peat winning juice, man. Let it go, brother. Please. You know what I mean?
let it go.
Stop gassing up, man. You're gassing up a bike at this point, man. You know what I mean? No juice anymore, man. Let it go, bro. Let it go, man.
Man said, "Let it go, let it go." Listen, there should be some credit for Ange.
Nah, bro, Ange gets no credit, bro. What the hell are we talking about? He was 2-0 up and they lost the game 4-3. Like,
he's got 2 wins in this season versus City alone. There's managing and coaching ability
what
within him.
the issue with Ange is?
The only way Ange will get respect is if he somehow wins him a trophy.
Do you know what the issue is? What the issue is? I don't think that Ange is like, there's warriors that you hear, like, they live by the sword and they die by the sword. With Ange, it's basically his tactics, essentially. And like the problem I've always had, and I'll always maintain, is that when you are doing when your manager is that type of manager, what should be happening or what needs to be happening is that you then bring in players for him to make that work. And the problem is that has not happened. Fundamentally speaking, that has not happened for him. We can say that, oh, he agreed to Brennan Doty, but if that's the only player he can probably get, and that's what they're going to give him, is he going to say no? Like, what do you see?
I don't know. Jay, I just want to ask a simple question whenever you're back. Simply put, this game, the game midweek to Bournemouth, back-to-back defeats, off the back of beating Manchester City. I don't know how many more defeats your fans will be able to take and your owner or your board will be able to take, because before you came, we're speaking, and Tottenham just like quick fix after quick fix after quick fix. The moment they see a problem, they're not willing to wait to see if there's any good on the other side.
Yeah,
So
but
could you
Egal,
potentially see
but
could you
Egal,
potentially see that the bandage could be to sack Ange to save face with the fans?
it's not about saving face with the fans. It's about looking at what you're seeing. You know me, I'm a very positive, level-headed fan. On the other side, you've got to be like, okay, like even the optimum version of what we do is still going to burn our players. Do you know what I mean? As in, so even at best, yeah, our players are going to have injuries. Yeah, we're going to have to. Obviously, the squad needs to be a lot better rotation, and I'm happy to go down that path. But in season 2, it's not season 1. So sometimes being pragmatic is necessary in the Premier League. Now, I'm all for, like, let's outscore the opposition, this and that. But when we're in season 2, you've got to be results orientated. You can get away with saying it's all about philosophy in year 1. Now, I'm happy to also say that some of these players are not as good. But I also think sometimes you have to look at the inconsistency of logic. So, Ange, if you're saying that, like, okay, so you're a really technical team, yeah, you need all these ballers and things like that, yeah. So look at City, yeah. How many runners does City have like a Salah? I'm not saying Salah's not a good player. I'm just saying how many players does City have like Salah in their team? No, everyone who plays for City's midfield is more technically secure than Salah. But that doesn't mean Salah's bad. It just means that, okay, for a very technical team, is he technically good enough? Do you know what I mean? If you need really dribbly, how technically good do your wingers need to be? Like today, Ange, like when he brought on Werner to play right wing, yeah, not bad, but Werner's never played right wing in his life, really. So Kulu can play right wing. So why wouldn't you move Kulu to right wing and Maddison into midfield? Last game, Johnson left wing. You've got Son and Werner on the bench, but you're playing Johnson left wing when he's barely. He's just starting to make a couple of decisions I don't agree with. Like rushing these 2 centre backs back today, it's almost felt like, okay, do they need more time, or are we putting them in? Because when you have a way of playing like our team, you can't really afford for players to be half fit or 70 or 80% fit, because they'll tear something or pull something, or and we've got such a large amount of hamstring injuries at the moment. I do worry, is the style sustainable when you have that level of injuries consistently, with Richie, Odebeck, like everyone, Van der Ven, I think for me, I almost feel like any player in Tottenham's team, yeah, plays 5 games in a row for this team, they will probably potentially get injured.
So,
Yeah?
so
5,
you're
6
saying it's
games
the
in a row.
manager's style of play is too taxing to have a small squad. Simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that obviously you've got the choice of, you need to improve the squad so the rotations can improve. And when the team looks, Spurs have 4 starters out today, maybe like 7 or 8 actual squad players. You're looking at Vicario, Bentancur, Odebear. Like these players would make a difference. They were bought to make a difference. So, like, sorry, we don't have 4 out, but we had 4 or 5 out up until today, and you brought these guys back. But yeah, I just think that you can say, okay, the squad needs to improve. But
Let me ask you a simple question.
Mhm.
Jay, if you could predict where Tottenham would finish right now, where do you think it is?
Me, before the season, I thought we'd finish between
Europa
maybe like
League, Conference League?
third, fourth to 6th, or something like that. Like between 3rd and 6th, 4th and 6th. That was kind of a trophy. I haven't
So
really.
now are you thinking 8 to 12?
I'm thinking that I'm just looking at overall, like, what it's difficult to say whether or not we can turn it round, or whether you just take this season as being bad, and say you bought 2 young players the squad wasn't overly improved, but you have a good squad moving forward once some of these players mature and stuff. But you still need 3 first-team players, or you say, you know what? Regardless of the squad, you're still good enough to beat Palace. You're still good enough to beat Ipswich. You're still good enough to beat these teams. Do you know what I mean? But you're not beating these teams. So regardless of losing to Bournemouth away or losing to Chelsea today, you can lose those games. Yeah, it can happen. But
fair enough. Let's spend the last 15 minutes talking about the title race. Is it over for Arsenal and Man City, guys?
It may be for City, but I don't know about for Arsenal. It depends again, bro. Like, who's your next game, by the way?
Look at that.
Who's your next game? Who's your next game? What's Arsenal's next game, by the way?
Everton at home.
Everton at home. We're probably
you'll beat Everton at home, most likely. Like, it just depends, innit? Like, I just think for me, your issue right now is just like you scored 13 goals, like in open play, and then you just stopped scoring the last 2 play from open play. So like, you just need to improve that really, and then
But this is the thing. When Arsenal are called set piece FC, I don't think anyone's really criticising the fact that Arsenal score so many goals from set pieces.
Exactly.
But I think the point is that just like are you being over reliant? Just like you've said, or people have said, maybe Liverpool are too reliant on Mo Salah, and I think Arne Slot addressed it when he was questioned on that. He actually came out and said, yes, maybe we are too over reliant on Mo Salah. So, but the thing is, when people say that about set pieces, it seems like Arsenal fans don't acknowledge maybe so far this season we've been over reliant on set pieces. It's the fact that it's not the fact that you're doing it; it's the fact that you're closing your eyes to what other people are not even taking the piss out of. You're just kind of saying you should probably after 5 years.
It's an observation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more of an observation, and I don't think that's.
But it's a bit BS because out of the 29 goals we've scored in the Premier League, only 8 of them have come from set pieces.
But I'll push back on
that. That's a big. As a percentage, how does that compare to everybody else? Is that how much?
That includes penalties. That includes penalties.
Yeah, but Rax, I wouldn't even worry about that. Because my observation is in games, Arsenal are incapable of winning certain tight games without set pieces. So if you look at them against Inter. You look at them against Atalanta. You look at them against Fulham. You look at them against Spurs away. You look at them against all of these games. Yeah, these very tight games. They've won with a set piece, or they've drawn 0-0, or they've not scored. So to me, I'm looking at this saying, you're not like Arsenal. What the problem is sometimes if you're very tight in the margins, you can keep it tight and try and. It's almost like if you open up a little bit more, yes, you can be countered, but you're going to be more creative. I think Arsenal it's almost they're being too safe for me a little bit, and they're happy to play the margins, keep it tight, hope Odegaard and Saka create something great. And I just think that sometimes, the law of diminishing returns, they've got to be very careful to not be too pragmatic when they've got good players that can win games. They can go out there and they can beat these teams. Go out and play a little bit more.
Can I just address something? So AFC Matt XX has said we have more goals than open play goals. This notion is bullshit. The point isn't you're obviously going to score more goals in open play overall. The question is those margins. Football is a low scoring sport with very tight margins.
Exactly.
We've lost the league. You lost the league Egal last season by 2 points. We lost the league by 1 point, right? On a couple of occasions. It's not a question of saying, oh, you score more open. So if you have one more open play goal than set piece goals, is everything fine then? Then we don't have to talk about it. That's a nonsense.
Why is it?
The question is it an over reliance? And is there a potential problem here? Maybe there isn't, but at the very least it's worth discussing. And later on he goes on to say Chelsea have 5 and Man United have 5. But if Arsenal have 8, Arsenal have 60% more than Chelsea as the percentage. That's why I say percentage is important. You can't look at absolute numbers and think everything's fine. Because
would also be very interesting.
Why is it a problem? Why is it a problem?
No one's saying it's a problem.
It could be a problem. It could be a problem.
why could
But
it
Hawks,
be a problem? It's just
Hawks,
it's
well,
not an
look at
over-reliance.
today. Hawks, did you
Wait. Let me finish my
Well,
point. before you actually
okay,
chime in.
go on.
So the thing is, yeah, Arsenal intentionally went out and got a set piece coach to intentionally focus on improving our set pieces, especially our corners. We actually devise strategies around it that other people aren't doing, and it's now a part of our armory. The problem isn't that we're scoring set pieces. It's not even it shouldn't even be a question. It shouldn't even be a
Yes,
topic.
exactly. I agree.
The problem actually lies in the fact that because there's certain games where we're unable to break teams down and score goals from open play, people think that, oh, because you didn't score a set piece today, that is a problem. It's just we just couldn't break down a team.
You know what the issue is, but
bro, you literally just but you just made the point. Hawks.
yes.
But Hawks, you literally just made Rax's point and explained. You literally explained that in games where you don't score a set piece and you don't win, there's a number of games now you don't win if you don't score a set piece.
Exactly.
So how is that not an over reliance? Because you're basically saying no one is saying Hooks, no one is saying it's bad that you score set pieces. If anything, everyone admires your ability to be so damn good at them. What people are saying is if you do not score a set piece, you are not winning games. Therefore, it is a problem. You have an over-reliance on it.
Without scoring set pieces.
No,
we've actually
I'm saying
won more games without scoring.
But Hawks, there's 7 games I can give. Hawks, I can give you 7 games this season that you would have not won without a set piece. Yeah,
no, but
I can give you games that.
You don't.
Yes, I do, bro.
You don't, because for example, you mentioned the Spurs game. The thing about the Spurs game that's actually quite funny is we actually set up to frustrate you and play in that way. So even if we didn't,
can we get AFC Matt on the AFC Matt wants to come on and talk. So let's get him.
Yeah.
Let's
before he comes on, what I'm gonna say is quite simply this. Yeah, I think the set pieces stuff is all good. Listen, as a Chelsea fan, we if you know our past history, we were always good at set pieces. I think my issue becomes, it should not be your primary weapon. I would say that should not be your primary weapon. You need to make sure. But I would argue a lot of the time that is what's been I feel like the way you play is almost becoming like your primary weapon and not a secondary thing.
But that's incorrect because, like I said, we've scored more goals from open play. It could never be our primary weapon.
But the question is
how much. I think it's fair to question how much time are you devoting to these set pieces versus how much benefit you're getting out of them. That's where the difference lies, right? Say that we don't know. And to some extent, all we're doing is speculating. But what we do see is Arsenal from open play, maybe in comparison to last season, maybe there's some kind of deterioration in their reliance on open play goals versus set piece goals. Now, again, across the whole season, that may change. We won't know because it's still relatively early in the season, right?
1 second. Matt was calling you out and he wanted to come on the show, right? So you said I sent him the link. I sent him the link. He's backstage. I'm gonna add him. Okay. I just want to hear
before Matt goes on, I just want to make one point about what he's saying as well. Is that listen, the defensiveness of Arsenal fans is conflating the point that people are making, because it has to be very clear. Nobody is criticizing Arsenal's ability to score goals. No one is saying that they shouldn't score set piece goals. No one is saying it's not a great thing that they're doing it. What people are saying is that without set pieces, set pieces have now become such a staple of their armory. It's now more than their attacking prowess. It's more than their creativity. Now, people will say, you know what? Different strokes for different folks, different games, different approaches. That's fine. All I'm doing is drawing a correlation between sometimes in these tight games, they're using set pieces to get over the line. Now, Mourinho, certain managers, it's Sean Dyche, what? Listen, we're just talking about Arsenal. We're looking at the team. If somebody said Liverpool are too reliant on Salah, cool. It is true. They are too reliant on Mohamed Salah. If Salah was not available, they would not win as many games. Just as easily, you can say, hey, Arsenal are too reliant on set pieces. If set pieces, they don't score a set piece, they're not going to win games. It's
All
very
right,
similar to
But you
football
can't.
things. So,
one second. Let me hear.
You know why?
Let me-
Okay, wait. Sorry, Egal. Because this agenda annoys me.
it's not agenda, bro. It's a
No, it's
simple
You know
point.
why it's an
Bro, it's
agenda?
not an agenda,
Why-
bro.
Okay,
We've
how do you
literally,
get corners?
it's
How
asking
do
a
you get
question.
corners?
Are Arsenal too
How-
reliant on set
how-
pieces?
how do
Stop
you get
being so
corners?
damn defensive.
I'm not
Just
defensive.
accept
How
the
do
fact
you
you
get
score a lot of set pieces.
Explain to me how you get corners. Explain to me how you get corners.
Bro, what are you talking about? Bro, no one is saying that you don't.
Explain to me
No
how
one
you
is saying
get
you
corners.
can't
to
put
get
pressure on
corners.
it.
Explain to
I
me
mean,
how
you
you
can-
Bro, don't fill in what I'm not saying with what you think I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't put pressure on teams. I'm not saying that you don't have field tilt. I'm not saying that you can't create overloads that create corners. I am saying that without that
so we
set
should have scored the
pieces,
corner. I hear it.
What?
Don't worry.
Absolutely,
Could
bro,
I
no,
just
bro,
quickly say
on.
a stat, right? So since the start of
bro,
last
by the way,
season, right? No.
don't use
Since
other
the start-
teams to use your point. Yeah, we're just
No, I'm
talking
not.
about Arsenal.
No,
No,
you can
but
do
yes,
teams that are
it's
irrelevant.
about
Go.
Arsenal.
can
The
do
stat
what
is about Arsenal, right? So since the start of last season, we've scored 119 goals. 30 of those goals have come from set pieces. Probably about 20 of those goals have come from corners. So we've still scored about 100 goals from open play.
Right?
Okay, the
But
question is,
are we talking about you
what
forever?
is the primary
Hold on,
weapon? But it's the
how
primary
does that
weapon.
ratio?
One sec.
But it's the primary weapon.
We're not talking about you from last
Guys,
season. We're talking
guys,
about you now.
everyone stop. Let Rack respond.
How does that ratio compare to other top teams in the league and in Europe in general?
No, he
Which
said
is
don't talk
better
about
at
other
set
teams.
pieces.
He
Which is
said
better
don't-
at
he
set
said
Okay,
don't-
pieces.
fine.
Egal,
okay,
Egal,
okay.
I've gotta go, yeah?
But then, does that mean there's an over reliance? Because the the word over is only relative. It's relative to other teams, right? Do you disagree with that, or do you agree with that?
When other teams have been
No, it has been spoken about because
because
3 or 4 years ago, Liverpool. No, it has been spoken about because 3 or 4 years ago, Liverpool were the best at set pieces. And when people talked about how we scored goals, the one thing they didn't speak about at the time, which I did speak about, and how important it was set pieces. To go back and look at Liverpool 3 or 4 years ago, we were the best team in the league at set pieces, both defensively and offensively. So I've been where you are right now.
Can I just say something? This season, yeah. This season, yeah. Arsenal are first with 7 set piece goals. This is
8.
this is before today's game. So 8, yeah. Aston Villa and Everton are on 6, yeah. And Chelsea and Manchester United are on 5. So the fact that everyone's blowing this out of proportion, yeah, is absolutely insane. I would understand if Arsenal scored 8 and then the team that was second has scored 2. I'd be like, all right, cool, because Arsenal's doing it at a disproportionate rate to everyone else in the league. But Arsenal's not even doing it to a disproportionate rate to everyone else in the league. But do you know why it gets? Do you know why people focus on Arsenal doing it? Because it's Arsenal.
Can I just quickly say a stat real quick, right? No. Hold up. Okay. So goals from corners, most since start of last season, right? So you've got Tottenham with 12 corner goals, right?
Ooh.
But they've taken 355 corners, right? So that's a goal every 30 taken, right? So now, if we go to Arsenal, 22 corner goals, 360 corners taken, goal every 16, right? And this is the funniest part. You've got Everton, who have got 14 corner goals, and they have taken 241 corners, and they have a goal every 17 corners taken. So there's straight away 2 or 3 teams that have pretty much the same corner stats as us. It's just we've got more corner goals.
Okay, but I don't. Okay. Do you think any of us are criticising you for scoring goals by corners?
It sounds like that.
Okay, but that you understand. Okay, that is not what we're saying. We're not saying Arsenal scoring corners is bad. What we're saying is that you're not really scoring corners from elsewhere. So are you disproportionately
score corners from
favouring?
No,
elsewhere?
he's saying you're not really scoring from elsewhere.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But we are because we have more goals from open play than we do from
Okay.
We've scored
Okay, so
13 goals in 4 games. or
relative,
Right. Okay.
but relative to other top teams in the league.
We've had
That's
no
the
Odegaard
problem.
for 2 months.
That-
He's our anchor
Okay,
to our attack.
One second.
But Matt, you understand that's a different discussion. I understand that, Odegaard is your main creative hub. That's absolutely fine. That's
He's
not a
gonna be
problem.
right.
No,
But when Odegaard comes back in,
understand.
we're
But we
He's gonna
understand.
be right.
But
Did you
we
watch the
understand that
sporting games?
too.
Did you watch the
We
sporting
understand that. But we understand that too. But
You
the
just wanna be
issue
right.
is that no. But the issue no. It's not the question of being right. The issue is that you guys don't seem to discuss it at all, and we're
Okay,
saying maybe this is
we're just
maybe
doing
this is a legitimate
Wait,
question.
Rack.
Go
Tell
on,
me
go
how
on,
many.
go on.
Tell me how many goals we've scored
Oh,
in the
man.
last 4 games.
Okay, you know,
In the last 4 games. Wait, sorry, Jay. Last time I checked, your name is Jay, not Rack. That's the last
right,
time I
go on, but you
Hey,
guys don't know. No, it's okay, boy. You guys can do because what we're gonna do, Hooks, you're calling about it in the
Hold on a
season.
minute, guys. Most since start of last season, right? Manchester City have more
What are you
corners.
talking about last season?
Okay, guys.
No one cares about last season. We're talking about right now.
One second.
I'm over right now. We
I'm
don't
gonna
care
have
what you were
to-
doing
I
last
don't have
I'm
season.
gonna have to
the
end it
stats
here.
this season.
I'm gonna have to end it here. I'm just gonna say
Jay
Jay and Rack are saying we're overly reliant on
Jay.
corners. The Arsenal fans are saying we're not overly reliant on corners.
I think it's fair to. I think it's fair. Yeah, I think it's fair to question the premise. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's fair.
Can I just quickly
Okay,
share my
that's fine.
screen?
It's an
really
opinion.
quickly.
It's an opinion.
Just really quickly, right? Like, look at the stats. Look at Man City, 417. But we're over reliant on corners.
What are you talking about, bro? That is 12 more corners. 12 more corners. It takes them 12 more corners to score a goal. How is that not a big metric?
We're just better at
What are you
corners
talking
than
about?
them.
Does that not look like a lot to you? It's 12 corners, not a lot to you.
We are just
No,
better at
look,
corners.
his-
What?
His
Oh,
point
man.
is we're better at corners. His point is
What
we're
what
better
is
at
the
corners.
issue with that?
Oh my days, bro. Listen, it's just coming down to this point, yeah? You didn't beat Fulham, yeah?
Matt,
Cool.
Has
Right?
there been a big change in your goals per corner output this season versus last season? Have you done that analysis?
Well, yeah, because
I'd
we
be
played
interested to know that.
less
We
games.
scored more last season.
Proportionally.
I mean, yeah,
I'd be interested to know.
Odegaard for 2
I
months.
think the fact that we
Bro,
have
no one, we're not asking why. We're asking.
If we didn't
No.
have Odegaard injured, I can assure
Bro,
you
why
we'd
you
be
always
scoring
say
a lot more
Odegaard
goals.
defense mechanism. Just answer the question. We can break down why it happened later. We just want a definitive answer on the question.
No, we haven't.
No.
There you go.
See, that wasn't difficult, was it?
1 second. Last year we set the record for Premier League corner penalties. I mean, set pieces scored. I think.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to break that this season.
Freudian slip by Egal.
I don't think we're going to break that this season.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Big up. I'll say this: it is going to be a long weekend. Sorry, it's going to be a long week. No, actually, we play midweek in the Champions League. So
Yeah,
we'll catch you
Champions
midweek
League,
in the
man.
Champions League. But
It's gonna be
but
like
another
for
game,
us. Fuck.
another game can definitely boost your confidence. Jay, who do you play midweek?
Oh, Rangers away, who are going to be absolutely looking to try and give Celtic's ex-manager a beating. So, yeah, that's going to be fun.
There you go. We're gonna have to wrap it up here, guys. Everyone, have a good one. W's in the chat.
W's in the shot. W's in the shot.